Yes, good day. Welcome to class once again. So we're going to solve a question covering engineering limited, and I want somebody to read to our hearing so we can highlight some silent issues in the question. Can anybody read, please? You are muted in case you are reading. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So please read, please. Read the question out.
Okay. Um, Cobrin Engineering Company is experiencing trouble with its suppliers. The firm produces a variety of valves requiring a complex built-in component and specially imported high-grade steel. The standard cost cards for the types of valve produced are as follows: valve type TW, VE, EC, and SE, all in dollars. The steel amount for TW is 250, VE 500, EC 190, SE 390. Button component TW 50, VE 50, EC 50, SE 50. Direct labor 60 for TW, VE 60, EC 50, SE 100. Variable production cost 40 for TW, VE 50, EC 40, SE 50. Fixed production cost TW 180, VE 240, EC 150, SE 270. Selling and administration cost 145 for TW, VE 225, EC 120, SE 215. Profit TW 35, VE 55, EC 30, SE 55. Then the selling price for TW is 760, VE 1180, EC 630, SE 1130. All the selling and administration costs are fixed, and the same single component is used for each of the four products. Direct labor is paid $4 per standard hour, and each member of the workforce is capable of producing any of the valves. Cobrin's major customer has ordered 30 TW, 30 EC, 20 VE, and 20 SE valves for the coming month. Despite the firm's difficulties, it is felt that this must be supplied to ensure future business. It is thought that this order represents some 10% of total demand for each valve. Required: establish the best production plan for covering if in the coming month A. Supplies of steel are limited to $250,000. B. Only 400 bought-in components are likely to be available. C. Labor disputes will restrict productive hours to 4,250. D. All four products could be subcontracted at a cost per unit of $475, $705, $308 and $640 for TWVE, EC, and SE respectively. Labor is still restricted to 4,250 hours, but the major customer insists that the special order is completed by covering and not subcontracted. Note: each of the restrictions on production is to be treated independently.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Now, some of the key points I want us to note in this question is this. Now, this is a standard cost card. This is a standard cost card. This standard cost card represents the costs of producing 1 unit. Take note, 1 unit. 1 unit. If it is budget, it represents the overall cost of producing the total product. But once is a standard cost card, the expressions here shows the cost information of producing 1 unit of a product. Take note of that. Now, in this standard cost card, we have variable cost, which entails steel. Take note, they are all in dollars. Take note, when you are solving question, take note of the units the figures are expressed. They are all in dollars. It can be in naira. It shows that this steel, the cost of one steel for TW is what? $250. The cost of one steel for VE is what? $500. The cost of one steel to produce EC is $190. The cost of one steel to produce SE is $390. Take note of that. You should be able to interpret question in this light. So bought-in component is an item that is used. It is constant for whichever product you want to produce. You can see you are incurring $50 for TW, $50 for VE, for EC $50, for SE $50. Direct labor, how much will you spend to produce 1 unit of TW? $60, $60 for VE, $50 for EC, $100 for SE. Variable cost varies with the production. How much are you spending on TW to produce 1 unit? It's $40 for VE, $50 for EC, $40, and for SE, $40. Fixed production cost is 180, 240, 150, 270 respectively for TW through SE. The selling and administration cost is 145, 225, 120, 215 respectively for each of the products. The profit 35, 55, 30, 55. The selling price 760, 1180, 630, 1130 respectively for each of the products. Somebody seeing this question for the first time will be imagining, what is this again? It's not something to worry about. It's what you can summon. Now, let's still take note of a point here. Take note of this statement. All the selling and administration costs are fixed. Are fixed. It means this selling and admin cost is a fixed cost. It's clearly stated. All selling and administration costs are fixed. Somebody will say, but it's often variable. The question is telling you what it is. Also, the same single component, take note of this word, the same single component is used for each of the 4 products. It means that for you to produce TW, 1 unit of TW, how many components will you use? Can I get a response? For you to produce 1 unit of TW, how many components will you use? How many bought-in components?
4.
How many bought-in components?
50.
4.
You said? Feel free to express yourself. How many bought-in components?
It's 50. It's
50?
50. 50.
How much?
Yes.
50. Okay, let me make it clear now. This 50 is what you are paying for one bought-in component, isn't it? You know, this is a standard cost card. Is a cost card for one unit. So for you to produce TW, you will pay 50 naira to get one bought-in component. So they are not telling you that the same single component is used for each of the 4 products. It means you are using one component to produce a unit of TW. It means that 50 times 1 is 50. For VE, you are using same single one component. So 50 times 1 is also 50. It means the price you are paying to get one component is 50. For EC, 50 times 1 is 50. For SE, 50 times 1 is 50. I know why I'm explaining this. We'll get to a point you will want to ask questions that why are we using 1? That is why I'm taking my time to explain this. So that when we come to that point, you'll not be confused, but you rather be convinced that this is the basis of why we are using 1. Take note of these points again. In most limiting factor questions, they will test your ability on this. Yes, Madam, what is her name? She sent a question to me this evening. The question involve something like this. Madam Mary, are you on this call? Okay, she's not here. All right, so direct labor is paid $4 per standard hour. Take note of this statement. Direct labor is paid $4 per standard hour. $4 per standard hour. It means 1 hour you are paying the rate of $4. So if you want to know how many hours are you using to produce 1 unit of TW that you are paying 60, how are you going to do that? You know, here this is $60. It means to produce 1 unit of TW you are paying $60. So how many hours will you use to produce TW? How will you know? How much are you paying for 1 hour? Can I get a response? How much are you paying
$4.
for $4?
$4.
Good, $4. Now, to produce 1 unit of TW, how much do you pay overall?
That is 60 multiplied by 4.
240.
No, you must get this thing. For to produce 1 unit of TW, you paid 60,000, $60. This is it, 60. To produce 1 unit of TW, in terms of hour, you are going to pay 60,000 or $60. $60. This is it. It's clearly stated here, $60. Direct labor for 1 unit of TW is $60. So how many hours do you use to produce 1 unit of TW? Who can try? How many hours did you use to produce 1 unit of TW?
15.
15.
That's
Okay,
60 divided by 4.
very good. That is it. They will always test your ability in this regard. They will give you the money, the overall money you spend on 1 unit. They will now give you the cost of 1 hour. So 60 divided by 4 will give you the hours used to produce 1 unit of TW. For VE, it will be 60 divided by 4. For EC, it will be 40 divided by 4. And for SE, it will be 50 divided by 4. For SE, it will be 100 divided by 4. Take note of this, please. Take note of this. The question, May 2021, question 2, have something similar to this. The question on forecast 1, forecast 2. So let's forge ahead. Cobrin's major customer has ordered, take note, major customer now. It means this customer is dear to Cobrin. Cobrin's major customer has ordered 30 TW, 30 EC, 20 VE, and 20 SE valves for the coming months. Despite the firm's difficulties, it is felt that this must be supplied to ensure future business, because this customer is a special customer. No matter the circumstance, I just have to satisfy this customer to ensure continuous business relationship. So it means irrespective of the difficulty I'm facing as an organization, I will have to satisfy this customer first. And this customer have placed an order for TW in the quantity of 30, EC 30, VE 20, and SE 20 for the coming months. Now, it is felt that this must be supplied to ensure future business. This is very fine. It is thought that, take note of this statement now, it is thought that this order represents some 10% of total demand for each valve. You know, they didn't give you the total quantity for TW, for VE, for EC, for SE. But they are now trying to tell you that there is a relationship between the quantity the special customer is buying and the overall quantity. So you must be able to understand this statement. It is thought that this order represents some 10% of the total demand for each valve. Which order is that? The special order. The special order. So if you want to get the overall demand for TW, what will happen? What will happen? It means if 30% represent 10% of the overall demand, what will be the 100% of 30? The 100% of 30 will be what?
70%.
100% of 30 will be what? It should be 300. 10% of 300 will give you what? %10 of 300 will give you what? 30. So read this statement again. It is thought that this order represents some 10% of the total demand. It means the special order represents 10% of the total demand. So if the total demand is 300, 10%, which is the special order, will be what? 10% of 300, which is 30.
Let's see.
For EC, if the 10% of EC is 30, what will be the 100%? It will still be what? 300. It means out of 300, you are giving your special customer 30. You'll be left with what? 270. Now, for VE, what will be the 100%? If 10% is 20, what will be the 100%?
200.
Fine, 200. So out of 200, 200 is the total VE, and you are now giving your special customer 20. What will you have left?
180.
Fine. Same applies to SE. So Cobrin's major customer has ordered 30,000 or 30 TW, 30 EC, 20 VE, and 20 SE valves for the coming months. Despite the firm's difficulties, it is felt that this must be supplied to ensure English language. Yes, this is very important. This is very important. So that is why I've just taken my time to explain this, because I'm having the urge that limiting factor might be tested in the coming diet. So you solve all the whole limiting factors in the past question. And once you can solve this question on your own, this one that is looking at you, once you can solve it, then solve other question in the Pathfinder, you'll be very fine. And that is why I always like to bring forth this question, because it's limiting factor questions are simple when you've practiced very well and you understand how it flows. So required, establish the best production plan for cobring if in the coming months supply of steels are limited to $250,000. Now, what is the limitation here? Is the money. $250,000 is what you have to spend on steel. Is what you have to spend on steel. So, irrespective of the demand you have, you cannot spend above 250,000. And you must first consider the production of the special customers order. Then you now prioritize. But before you do that, there is something you must determine. You must determine your contribution, isn't it? And you determine your contribution per limiting factor. Your contribution per limiting factor. Since the limiting factor here is the cost of obtaining steel, it means that the cost of obtaining one steel here is what? 250. Here 500, here 190, here 390. So you have to link that to this value. So B, only 400 bought-in components are likely to be available. It means you cannot get above 400 bought-in components. This is a limitation on its own. No matter what you want to do, you cannot get above 400 bought-in components. Also, labor disputes will restrict productive hours to 4,250. It means your labor hours available is 4,250 hours. You cannot exceed this. Now, there is a scenario in part D that if you are to produce these goods yourself, and if you are to subcontract, what will be the benefit? So you look at the difference between producing yourself and subcontracting. When you do this, what will be the outcome? Should the recommendation be that you subcontract or you produce yourself? So let's quickly solve this. I believe you all have this question. So I'm going to go to my solution page now to be able to solve this. So with this explanation, it won't take much time to solve this, so that those that want to solution. Solution to cobring engineering. Solution to cobring engineering. As we saw, you have a question, you can ask, please. Must not go to bed without understanding this. So I earlier stated that you can determine your contribution in two ways based on this question. The variables in the question warrant us that whichever method you want to use, you can use selling price minus variable cost, And you can determine your contribution by saying profit plus fixed cost will give you contribution. Profit plus fixed cost will give you contribution. So whichever approach you want to adopt, you get same results. You get same result. So determine your contribution. Determine contribution per unit. So we have 4 products. We have TW, we have VE, we have EC, and we have SE. Now, the profit for TW is what? 35. For VE is what? 55. For EC is what? 30. And for SE is what? 55. Now, plus fixed cost. Plus fixed cost. Fixed cost, TW 325. VE is what? 465. EC is what? 270. And SE is what? 485. So the contribution at this point will be what?
360.
This 360. This is what? 520. And this is what? 300. And this is what? 540. So these are the contribution using this approach. So let me put or let's go this way. The selling price is what? 760 for this is 1,180. For this is 630. For this 1,030. Then the variable cost. We have what? Steel.
130.
250.
Steel.
500.
Steel. And for bought-in components, let me make it BC. This is what? 50. This is what? 50, and this is 50. We have direct labor. Direct labor, 50.
60.
Direct labor.
100.
60, 50, 100.
Then we have what again? Variable cost.
Variable production cost.
We have 40, 50, 40, 50. So what will be the contribution
50.
350.
for W?
360. 360.
So remember all these. Yeah, 360. Remember all these will be in brackets, please. If you didn't put less, you put them in brackets. Since I didn't put them in, I didn't write less variable cost. I'm putting it in brackets. So all these matters. Then the currency you are working with also matters in dollars. Contribution. So this is 360, this is 520, this is 300, and this is what? 540. You can see.
So if you put
So
less,
having
bracket,
gotten
you
the
commit
contribution per unit, we need to get what? Contribution per limiting factor. Contribution per limiting factor. For A, the limiting factor is what? Is steel. The limiting factor is what? Is steel.
Still.
And that limiting factor is given to you in what value? In dollars, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So what are you now going to do to determine the limiting factor? Contribution per limiting factor. What will you do?
Contribution.
We divide it by
Mm.
the
Divide it
contribution.
by
You divide what?
divide it by contribution per limiting contribution over contribution per limiting factor
360 divided by 250.
per unit. 360 divided by 3.
So are you agreeing with that? No, feel free. No, it's correct. Just feel free. Yes. Contribution is what? Per unit is what?
360.
360. This is 520. This is 300. And this is what? 540. Somebody is asking how will we get that? We just derive that here. Then to get the contribution per limiting factor. Now, the limiting factor is the cost, isn't it? The cost. So the steel costs now. Steel cost per unit is what? For TW, 250,
250.
500, 190, 390.
390.
So when you divide 360 by 250, what will you have?
1.44.
1.44.
Okay, you have it as 1.44. Now for VE is what?
1.04.
1.04.
And for EC is what?
1.5.
E. And for S it is what?
1.6. 1.38.
So haven't done this. What will be the next thing
Rank,
now?
sir.
Ranking.
Fine. Ranking. So which is ranking first here?
EC.
Second.
CW.
CW.
And third.
SE.
SE.
And fourth.
VE.
VE. Fine. So now, if we want to produce, which products are we to produce first?
VC.
If we want to produce
We are to prove EC.
EC.
In descending order.
EC,
Ascending.
yes, EC, we produce EC first. So we are producing EC first because it represents the amount of each product. It represents how much each product contributes towards covering fixed cost and profit. You know, contribution is that value that will make you cover your fixed cost and profit. That is why we computed that contribution is what? Profit plus fixed cost.
Fixed cost.
Yes, so contribution is that value that will make you cover up for profit and fixed cost. So now, We're going to produce EC first because it will give us the highest contribution per limiting factor, followed by TW, followed by SE, followed by VE. Now, how are we going to do this? Since we've ranked, take note, we have to consider the special order first. So let's forge ahead. So since we've known how our presentation is going to be, let's see. We've ranked. So let me make this production in units. Then the steel used. How many steel are we going to use? Then the various products, TW, VE, EC, SE. Now, the question is this. For TW, the special order is what? Let's write special order. The special order for TW is what? Is 30, right?
30.
For VE is 20. For EC is 30. For SE is 20. So, we're trying to look at the cost now. The cost of one steel in terms of TW is what? You go back to your question. How much are you buying one steel for TW?
250.
50.
Fine. In your book, write it 30 times 250. It will give you what?
75.
75. For VE, how much are you spending to get one steel?
500.
And when you multiply, to give you what?
10,000.
10,000. Fine. For EC, 30 times what? The cost?
190.
190. And it will give you what?
57.
700.
Yes.
Then for SE, to give you what? 20 multiplied by what?
390.
390. To give you what?
7,800.
So when you add this whole result, 75 plus 10,000 plus 57 plus 7,800.
$31,000.
31,000. Fine. It means out of the 250,000 we have, we'll be spending how much on special order?
31,000.
31,000.
Good. 31,000. 31,000. So we have $31,000. Now, since we've treated special order, we'll now come to this. Which product is ranking first?
EC.
EC, fine. EC is ranking first. Now, in relation to EC, 100% of the goods we have to produce for EC is what? Since special order of EC is 30, the 100% will be what?
300.
Fine, 300. So out of 300, you've given your special customer 30. What do you have left?
270.
270.
Fine, 270. 270. So how much are you going to incur to buy steel worth 270 for EC? How much?
Mm,
51,300.
DC.
300.
Fine. Hope everybody is on the same page. The-
270 times 190.
If you go to the
270
question,
times 190
the cost of EC,
is 190.
270 times 190, 51,300. So you go to the ranking again, which is ranking second?
CW.
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 Fine, CW. Now, 100% in terms of the special order, TW, special order is 30, right? It means the 100% will be 300. What will be left? If you give out 30, 270 still.
270
So
times
how much are
250.
you spending to buy? Yes.
67.5.
67,500.
So TW, you have it as what?
500.
67,500. The next is what? Based on ranking.
SE.
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 I see.
Fine. Yes. The special order is what? 20.
Yes.
What will be the 100%?
200.
200. So when you less 20 from 200, you have what?
180.
180.
So what will be the steel use here? The cost of the steel use?
7,200.
200.
Fine. Take note, all these costs is from these 250. So you have to ask yourself, do you still have more money left? 250 minus all these, how much do you have left?
$30,000.
30,000.
You have 30,000 left.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So good. Let me just say 220. The total of this is 220. It's 220. So the next ranking product is what?
VE.
VE. And the 100% of VE is 200, right?
200.
Yes.
Yes.
And when you less 20 from 200, you have 180. Isn't
Yes.
it?
It is.
So you have 30 left. Let me just write it 30 here. So the point is this: 180. Do you have the money to buy 180 still?
No.
How much are you supposed to spend to buy 180 still for VE?
It's
Yes.
90,000.
That is 500 multiplied by what? 180.
180.
So you need how much?
You need 90,000.
90,000.
But you don't have the 90,000, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So what are we going to
30,000.
do? What are we going to do now?
We're going to divide
Divide the 180 with the
the
With the what?
30,000.
30,000.
Very good. Very good. So when you do that, you're going to have what? Let me know if you are very good.
Hey.
I'm going to have 166 points.
0.06.
Now, what you have to do is this. How much is one steel for VE?
VE
500.
How much are you to buy one steel for VE?
250.
500.
You have 500, right?
500.
So now you have 30,000
Yes.
at your disposal. How much steel are you going to buy with 30,000 under VE? As simple as ABC.
It's 60.
Yes, it's 60. See it now. Ask me questions if it is not clear.
60.
Yes. Everybody, do you know why it is 60?
No.
I just divided with, but I thought is this 30,000 we are dividing it with.
Divide by
30,000 divided by 500.
500.
Okay.
Yes. Put yourself in the picture. You have 250,000 to buy steel. Haven't used 250,000, part of 250,000 to buy steel that you use to produce the goods for special order. Now, based on your ranking, you've used 51,300 to produce 270 for EC. You've used 67,500 to produce TW for 270 products, and you've used 70,200 to produce SE, 180 unit of SE. Now, when you add, you have 220,000 spend. Now, you have 30,000 left. For you not to just go home like that, based on the next ranking product, which is VE, how many steel can you buy using 30,000 of VE? The cost of one VE, the steel you need to produce VE, the cost of one is what? 500.
500.
Now, since you have 30,000, how many VE steel can you buy to produce VE? If a cost is 500, it will be 30,000 divided by what? 500.
500.
Then you have it as 60. It means you can buy 60 steel. You know, I explained in the first class that this used to cause confusion to students. So the simple thing is the resource that is left, just fix it in and divide it by the cost of purchasing the limiting factor. And if the limiting factor is not in naira, if it is in hours, how many hours do you need to produce one unit? You divide the remaining hours by the hours you require to produce one unit, and you get the number of hours. So it's a very simple analogy. So once you do it and do it again, you get it. So you can see now. So let's just show one more step. Yes, Kimi?
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so when we did the special order production, that's the number of units, where we have 75 for
Yes, ma'am.
TW, VE 10,000 units and all that. I thought we would
Yes.
okay, oh, that's in units. Oh. Okay, so in my head I was thinking, I just remember that this 250,000 is in dollars. Sorry.
Very well, very well. I
We will
just
subtract.
all right, write on, please.
I was thinking we'll subtract all those 75. By the time we add them together, we'll now deduct from the 250. But I just realized that that is in units and this is in amount. Or am I missing something?
See it. Let me continue. Let me continue what I started.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. So is it clear now?
Yes, sir. It's clear, sir.
It's fine. So that is the A part. So is it difficult?
No, it's not.
Good. That is
It's
the
not.
just move in that spirit. It's not difficult. Nothing is difficult. Yes. Once you move with that spirit, you will conquer. When you are seeing one question and you say, ah, they won't kill us again. Nobody that wants to kill you. Understand? So just follow it as it is and you overcome. So look at the next item, that only 400 bought-in components are likely to be available. Only 400 bought-in components are likely to be available. Who can interpret that? Who can tell me what to do? Please speak out. Yes.
Only
I think based on the production, working on the production units, we're going to use we're going to use 30. That's 10% of the unit. That's 30 40W. We're going to use 30 times 50 40W, 20
400
times
bottom components likely to be available.
7, 30 times 50 for EC, 20 times 50 for um SE. But before that, when we already know that it's 400 that is going to be used. So when we add up, we do like as we did for this first steel. For the steel, we prepare a table for component, bought-in component, and deduct as we produce based on what is available.
Okay. Anybody else that want to try? Just say something. You want to try?
Country. I'll
Say
say
it,
it's
say it.
contribution, as in contribution over components, over contribution per limiting factor.
Okay. 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 So which contribution are we using?
The first contribution we got, that as in that
Very good.
360.
Very good. So, now you're not talking about components. The question you should ask yourself is, how many components is being used to produce one unit? They are telling us now, see now, it's not in naira. So we are not going to be using the limitation in naira or in dollars. They are telling us that only 400 bought-in components are likely to be available. It means the component use. And when we were reading, I laid emphasis on this part, that all the selling and administration costs are fixed, and same single component is used for each of the products, of the 4 products. I now further went to say that how many components is used to produce TW? How many components is used to produce 1 unit of TW?
50.
I said 1. I said 1. The cost of 1 unit is 50.
50.
Take 50 times 1 is what? 50.
50.
The cost of 1 unit for VE is 50. 50 times 1, 50.
50.
Do you get that? Do you get that? So, for you to determine the contribution per limiting factor, it will now be your contribution of 360 divided by what? By 1.
Divided by 1.
Yes. So everything will be divided by 1. Let's just show the workings. It's contribution. Contribution. We have it as for TW is 360, for VE is 520, for EC is 300, and for SE is 540. So the contribution or the components now, components per unit is what? Is 1, 1, 1, 1. So the contribution per limiting factor will be what?
360 divided by 1, 360 for TW.
360, 20, 300, 40.
VE 520, EC 300, SE 540.
So when you rank now,
SE first.
VE second.
we have first. This is second.
W.
Size 20
This
person.
third.
I'm not even seeing this thing.
Okay, so sorry, please.
They're not seeing. Okay. Mm-hmm. I see it now. Okay.
The screening is not showing again.
It's not showing.
So this is false. So what are we going to do next? You know, we have 400 components available. 400 components available. So how are we going to distribute these 400 components? Somebody should speak.
We will now minus the special order from the 400.
So how many components are you going to use for special order? How many components are you going to use? The question is, to produce 1 unit of each of the components, how many components do you need? The answer is on the screen. To produce 1 unit, you said?
4.
To produce 1 unit of TW, how many components do you need?
1.
One component.
Good, 1
One.
component. Fine, 1 component. So for TW, the special order is what for TW?
30.
30.
So how many components will you use to produce 30 of TW?
30. 1 times 30. 30.
Very good, very good. Yes, that is the spirit. So that is how it should go. 30. Yes, you link it like that, and then you're fine. So it's just for you to follow it as it come, and you appreciate the course. You appreciate it. So EC SE. So let me say this is components. Make these components, and let me match this and say this is products. This is products. And now the production. Let's see production. So for special order, now, for TW,
30.
you have 30, right?
Yes.
For VE, 20.
20.
20.
For EC, 30. For SE, 20.
20.
So the total components to use, take notes, this is multiplied by 1, it's 30.
1.
This is multiplied by 1, it's 20. So that you not just think we added 30, 20, you should know there is a working.
Mm.
So that is why I'm showing it. So when you are solving another question, you won't just think this is a coincidence. So when you add 30, 20, 30, 20, you're going to have what? The total
100.
component.
100.
Fine. So what will now happen next? Based on your ranking here, which product are we to produce next?
SE.
SE. Fine. SE. SE. So the 80% of 100% of 200 will be what?
180.
180. So how many components will you use?
1.
So yes, to produce 180, how many components will you use?
180
180.
times 1. 180.
Fine. So it will be 180. And overall, how many components do you have?
300.
100.
400.
400 man. Special order.
Overall, you have 400. So how many components have you used out of 400?
280.
Which is ranking next?
VE.
VE is ranking next. So now, in terms of VE, you've produced 20 for your special customer. What is left? What are you going to produce? You are supposed to produce 180, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So how many components will be left when you use 280 out of 400?
120.
You are left with 120. So since VE is the next, how many units can you produce for VE?
120.
One what? Very
120
good.
divided by 1.
Fine. 120. You can see now. So somebody confused? You can speak out, please. You know you are not in the exam hall yet. You are still at the point where you can ask question. Any question? So is it difficult?
No, sir.
No, sir.
It's not difficult. It's
Because
now.
it's because of the explanation, but because before it was, but now it's
It's not
not.
difficult. I want you to have this mindset that every question in that your pathfinder, every question in that your pathfinder, that PM, they are not difficult. Just have that mindset.
Okay, sir.
Yes. When I was to write PM, I solved all the whole question in the pathfinder.
Hmm.
That 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 was a group we used to belong to then, Gold. Yes. That time there's no all this new platform. So anybody that sent question to the group, I will make sure I solve it. I look for the answer and solve it. So I want you to have that mindset that there is no question that is difficult. Yes, it's just that maybe at the first instance, you might not have a clear understanding of it. But by the time you look at it again, make sure you find the solution. Yes. There is no question in that Pathfinder that is difficult. Have that mindset. Just go with the mindset. Forget about what has happened. Maybe you've tried this exam over and over again and you're not getting it. Yes, just remove that mindset. Yes, have a new mindset now that you can do it, you can do everything. Yes, and then that mindset will keep working for you and it will grant you confidence even when you go to the exam. But when you go with the mindset that this thing has come again, how are we going to do it now? You understand? So go with the mindset that you are encouraged and you'll be able to surmount this. So the point is this: once you can pass PM, you've passed ICANN. Yes. So go with that mindset and everything will be fine. So let's move to the next one. I want somebody to explain what will happen in part C. Let me change my slide to that point. In part C. In part C. I want someone to explain. Sorry, can't present my slide. Okay, the question is dark. In part C, let me read from another device that labor, take note of the word labor disputes will restrict productive hours to 4,250. What does that imply? Can anybody explain?
Means the labor hours is limited to 4,250 hours.
Fine. So what next are you now going to do? For each product, what is happening in relation to labor? Go and determine that for each product. What are you going to look out for each product in relation to labor? I need somebody to speak. Yes, what will happen?
I think it will follow the same method as like the one we just concluded.
All right. So what is that method?
We just look for contribution for each of the products.
Yes, which remains same. The first
Which
contribution.
remain the same contribution.
Yes.
Yes.
As you explained earlier, we look for labor hour per unit. As we
Very,
divided 60 with 4
very
to
good.
get labor hour per unit 15.
Very good.
So we
Very
now
good.
divide it with the contribution to get
Very,
a contribution per limiting factor.
very good. Very good.
We now rank and start minusing.
What was your score in last PM exams, man?
It was very bad though.
Ah, yeah. Okay, it will be good this time. Don't worry. Don't say it out. Don't say it out.
I should say
No, don't say it. Don't say it.
it. It wasn't good at all.
And that one is not an issue. That does not mean you don't know it. Yes. So, some of these things is just for us to know it better and better again. Yes. To me, once you're an ACA, you're a first class student. Yes. So if you like, have taught class in your university. Once you have ACA, you're a first class student. But the point is, when you become that first class, when you have your ACA, don't relent, because that is when the real work will start. Yes. Anywhere you are working, I say, you're chartered, yeah, come and do this. They see you like one almighty, like you can do everything. They don't know you have limitation. But in order not to keep the temple low, we also try to show that yes, God is helping us, we can do it. Yeah, because you'll be tested. Yes, that is just it. People want to test you. You say, hey, you're chartered. Mhm. Some of them will even be angry about you that you're chartered. So that is it. So that is what this exam is doing to you. That no matter the situation you find yourself, you should be able to overcome the challenge. So you've given a very good explanation, man.
Thank you, sir.
Madam Enessi, are you clear with that point, man? Okay. Anna, are you clear with that point?
Yes, very well.
Kimi Godfrey, are you clear with that point?
Yes, I am.
Ekimini, are you clear with
I
that
am
point?
cleared. Yes.
Mr. Shegun, are you clear with that point?
I will reject, sir.
Okay, it's fine. Yes, you recheck. Yes, there's no problem. So the point is this. Let's show it now. Let's show it. Okay, you can mute yourself, sir, Mr. Shegun. There's an echo from your side. Yes. So, talking about the production, the labor, let's see what will happen there. So, labor. Restricted to 4,250. 250 hours. So please, every question on limiting factor, I've checked the Pathfinder over and over again. They are not something that is difficult. Yes, when you read it first and it seems it's not clear, in case you are feeling hungry, go and eat and come back to it again. One thing with studies, sometimes you cannot study with an empty stomach. Yes. So when I was writing, I used to try to make myself happy. Yes. When you are writing this exam, don't be angry with people. Because when you are angry with people around you, the rate of assimilation will be low. So forget about anything around you and be happy. It enhances your understanding. But when you are angry with people around you, you see, for you to read and understand sometimes will be difficult. So just try and make yourself happy. So labor, the contribution is still same. Contribution is still same. TW, VE, EC, SE. So now contribution, CW, this is 360, this is what? 520, this is what? 300, this is what? 540. The labor hours. Labor hours. If you look at the question, let me reiterate what she has explained. The question states that direct labor is paid $4 per standard hour. You are paying for 1 hour. How much? $4. If TW, if you've paid $60,000, how many hours did you use? You've used 60 divided by 4. You have 15. Let me show it here. 60 divided by 4 is equal to what? 15. So at this point, the contribution per limiting factor will be 360 divided by 15. You have what? 24. I believe this should be clear, even to one pupil. Contribution per limiting factor. So what will happen here? Somebody should tell me. Following this same approach.
Okay.
520 divided by 15. Contribution. 520.
I want to show the step-by-step working. So that it will now be 520 divided by what? 15.
15.
It will be what?
34.67.
34.67. So I will call somebody now. Somebody will help me out. If you are part of this class, Kimi Godfrey,
Yes, sir.
tell me what to do next for EC.
Easy. Okay. That would be 50 divided by 4. That's 12.5. So that will now be to now get the contribution for the limiting factor will be 300 divided by 12.5.
All right, thank you very much.
That's 24.
So, Madam Enesi, Madam Tai, are you there with us?
I mean,
All right, Matt, please help me out with the next one, SE.
yeah, SC will be 100 divided by 4. That will give us 25.
All right. Then
And 540 divided by 25.
the result will be
Let me press my calculator. 540 divided by 25. The result will be
So what will be the next thing to do? The result is 21.60.
Yeah.
Haven't determined the contribution per limiting factor. What will be the next thing to do?
Ranking.
Rank.
Very good. Ranking. So which is ranking first?
VE.
V.
First. Second.
TW and EC.
TW
Lab
and
2
EC.
second.
And EC.
Then since we have 2 seconds, we'll not have third, right?
Yeah.
Now, those days, those of you
Okay.
that are very intelligent, when there is a tie in the class and two students are having second position, means there will be no third. So that is what is happening here. So having determined this now, what will now happen next? Based on what we've been doing over time. Somebody should speak to that again. What will happen next?
We're going
Yes.
to work on the special order.
Okay. Special order. Yes. How are we going to work on it?
The special order for W is 30. So multiply it by 15.
Okay.
Then
So
we do
this.
same for
Okay. Sorry.
VE. And
So the question is, how many hours do you need to produce special order, the whole of the special order? You know, we are giving it first priority. So who can tell me how many hours do we need to produce 30 units of TW?
that will be
30 times 15.
30, 15.
450 hours.
That would be what?
450.
450. Then for VE, how many hours?
300.
For EC,
375.
and for SE,
300. Oh. 20 times 12. 500.
so when you add the results, you have a total of what?
1,625.
1625. So out of 4,250 hours, you've used how many hours? You've used
1,625.
fine. So let's come back here. Which is ranking first?
V.
S.
V.
VE. VE is ranking
VE.
first. So now for VE, we have 20, right? it means overall we have 200. And we produce 20 as a special order. We are left with what? 180.
180.
So how many hours do you need to produce this 180? All things being equal.
2,700.
2,700.
700.
So the difference between 4,250 and 1,625 is what?
Six to five.
2,625.
2,500.
Fine. So that means we don't have 2,700 hours. We cannot produce everything. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So what will now happen? What will happen?
Divide it by 15.
Very good. Very good. Divide by 15. You see, that is the concept.
175.
So you now say 2,625 divided by what? 15. You have it as what?
175.
175.
You can produce 175. So total, this will be what? 4,250. This will be what? This will be 30. This will be what? This will be 195. And this will be what? 30. And this will be what? 20. Is this fine?
No. Total.
Please, can you come again, sir? How did you get the total, sir?
Okay, don't mind me. The total, these ones are workings. This 15 times. So how many units of TW can you produce? 30, isn't it? 30. The total for TW, how many units can you produce? You can only produce 30 based on special order because you don't have sufficient hours to produce orders. So you can only produce 30. For VE, how many units can you produce? Take note, this one is working. You can produce 20 for special order, and for the orders, how many can you produce? You have a balance of 2,625 hours. And since VE is ranking first, how many units can you produce? Using these hours, you can produce what? 175 units. So 20 plus 175, you have 195. You have 195. Mr. Shegun, can you mute yourself?
Okay, sir.
So you have 195. That is 20 plus 175. You have 195. All these ones are just workings to show students how to derive
Understand.
the necessary values. This one is working. So what we are concerned is 20 and 175. This is working. Workings. So this is workings. To get the hours, to get these total hours, we show these workings to get this. Now, this is the balance of 4,250 minus 2,625. But we don't, if we want to produce the whole of 180 that is remaining, we don't have the time. So we said, since we have this as a balance, how many units of VE can we produce?
Okay.
You said 2,625 divided by 15, you can produce 175. So what is the total unit you can produce? Let me make these units. Let's write it. Units. 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 This is hours. Is this clear? Madam Enesi, is this clear?
Yes,
Right.
sir. Very
All
clear.
right. All right. So let's forge ahead to the part C and part D now. The D part of the question. The D part of the question. Let's see. The D part of the question that please follow with keen attention now. That all four products, take note, all four products could be subcontracted at a cost per unit. It means if you don't want to produce each of these products, you don't want to produce TW, you don't want to produce VE, you don't want to produce EC, you don't want to produce SE, maybe because you don't have sufficient hours, then you can now give it out to an other organization, company that is producing similar products. Please help me out. How much will you produce one unit? And they are giving them a price of 475, 705, 380, 640 for TW, VE, EC, and SE respectively. So this is the cost of production to them. So if they are to sell for VE, for TW now, the selling price of TW by Cobrin is how much? 760. So when they
760.
subcontract, is at the cost of what? 475. So what will be the profit if they are to subcontract TW to another organization? Because the cost of subcontracting is 475. The selling price is 760. 760 minus 475 will give you the profit if you are to subcontract. If you are to subcontract. So let's see how it goes. So we'll compare. The question is, all four products could be subcontracted at a cost per unit of 475, 705, 380, 640 for TW, for VE, for EC, and SE respectively. Labor is still restricted. It means the labor still remains 4,250 hours. But the major customer insists that the special order is completed by Cobrin. Don't go and give to another person to produce. It's you that should produce my goods and not subcontracted. That is the clause given by the special customer to Cobrin. Please, even when you want to give out some part of your production to an external party, you want to outsource, make sure the one you are giving me is produced by you majorly. That is the condition. So the point now is, what is the contribution if Cobrin produce? What is the contribution if Cobrin subcontract? The difference between contribution if Cobrin produce and contribution if Cobrin outsource, what will be the contribution? So we need to determine the contribution of both. Then we'll now look for the difference. The difference will now give us the extra contribution if made. If the contribution if made is greater than contribution of bought in, of outsourcing, we will now see. Still in relation to hours, they are giving us a limitation in terms of hours. It means we will still use the labor hours in relation to the extra contribution. So let's just work it out so that those of us that want to go to work tomorrow can go and prepare, can go and sleep. Sorry, I'm taking your time just so that you understand. That is why I'm
Oh,
just.
we're not taking our time, sir. 750.
So make
Thank you, sir. You are not taking our time.
Make or buy. Because you have to pass.
Sir, your screen is not showing. No.
Oh, remind me, I used to. I don't.
Good.
But so make or buy. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
It's like the line is breaking.
Okay. No, I'm just still typing. Not yet searching. So the contribution, if the product is produced by cobring, the contribution is what? Existing contribution that we have. Contribution, if made, we already know that for TW is 360, for VE is what? For EC is what? And for SE is what?
540.
So if it is outsourced, if it is bought in now, what will be the contribution of TW? I just explained. Somebody should tell me.
285.
Contribution if bought in. Take note of that English, bought in or outsourced. So let me just show the workings. Contribution if bought in, so that we'll not get too much question. Selling price of 760 minus what? 475. You have what? 285. And for the
47.
for the next one, it is what? 1,180 minus what? 775. Then we
7.
have the results to be what? 475. For EC, you have it as what? 630 less what? 380. We have it as what?
250. 250.
250. Then for SE, you have it as 1,130 less what?
640. 490.
You have it as what?
490.
490. So, as usual, change this. These are workings. Take notes. These are workings. These are workings. Let me show it to you so that you know. These are workings. These are workings. These are workings. So now, what is the difference between contribution if made and contribution if bought in? That will be termed as what? If the contribution being made is greater than contribution of bought in, you know you have extra contribution. So what is the difference between bought in for TW and bought in? Contribution if made and contribution of bought in or if bought in. You should have 75.
75. 360 minus 285.
This should be 45 and this should be 50 and this should be what? 50.
50.
So what will now be the contribution per limiting factor? The limiting factor is still what?
See labor hours.
Very good.
15.
Distribution per limiting factor. So this is still 15. This is what 15. This is 12.5. This is what 25. So what will now happen? The result will now be what?
5.
This should be 5.
3.
This should be what? This should be $3. This should be what? 4.
3
And
points.
this will be what? And this will be 2. So what next are we going to do now?
Ranking.
Fine, ranking. So which is ranking first? Second. And this is ranking third.
EW.
And this is ranking. This is
EC.
ranking fourth. So what are we now going to do? What are we now going to do? Yes, somebody should tell me now. The same approach, same approach. Same approach. We are still restricted to 4 to 50 hours.
Special order.
So work on special order first. So this will still be the same thing. This will still be the same. But this will change. This will change. Do you get that? Special order value will still remain same. Yes, because the limiting factor is still hours. So these results will still be same. So, but based on the new ranking, which is ranking first?
TW.
TW, fine. So now we have overall 100% of TW is 300. We've produced 30 as special order. We are left with what?
270.
270. But do we have the hours to produce 270? Do we have the hours?
Don't.
The answer is no. So how many units of TW can we produce given these available hours? How many units? How many units? How many? It's still the same approach. 2625 divided by what? 15. You have what? You have 175. Isn't it?
It is.
So now the total here will now be what?
Yeah.
The total here will be, this should be 205. So all this is when we produce in-house. Let me make it clear. Made in-house. So this will be what? This will be 20. So in this case, we need to produce everything, but our limitation is ours. So we can only produce this in-house. So the remaining balance should be outsourced. So subcontracted. The remaining balance should be subcontracted. So now, you know, we need to produce 300 here, isn't it? But we can only produce 205 units. So what is the balance that should be subcontracted? The balance that should be subcontracted will be what? It's very clear now. You need, overall, you need to produce 300. So based on your ranking, you were able to produce 205. It means you give out what? 95. Then this is 300 total. At this point, you're supposed to produce 200. You're able to produce what? 20. The balance will be what? 180. Overall, it should be 200 here. At this point, you are supposed to do what here? To produce 300 units, but you were just only able to produce 30. The balance will be what? 270. And this will be what? 300. At this point, supposed to produce 200, but you're able to produce on your own 20,000 units. So you need to give out the remaining balance to an outside organization to produce. And when you do that, you give them 180. Overall, you have 200. So you can see this is what they want us to do. This is what the question wants us to do. So please, by the virtue of this, I want to encourage us to solve the whole questions on limiting factor between now and Sunday. Yes, between now and this coming Sunday. Try and solve the whole limiting factor question.